third grade. Welcome to my kitchen. This is where we're going to be doing science today. So for our science lesson today, we're talking about the different states of matter. The three states of matter are solids, liquids, and gases. So to talk about solids first. A solid is something that is hard, like this piece of ice. The particles in a solid are very close together. They might wiggle around just a little bit, but not much at all. The next state of matter that we're going to talk about is a liquid. A liquid, like this water, the particles are farther apart than in a solid, and they can slide around a little bit, but they still don't freely move about. They stay contained in this glass, in this container, because the particles in a liquid don't freely move about as in a gas. So we have solids, like this ice. We have liquids, like this water. And now we're going to talk about gases. On my stove, I have a pot of water that's boiling. Please don't try this at home. And as you can see, the steam that's coming up from that's a gas. This is what happens when water evaporates. When we heat water up to its boiling point, like when we put a pot of water and boil it on the stove, it becomes a gas through the process of evaporation. And the particles in this gas, in the air, are super far apart, and they're really charged with energy, and they run around freely, and that's what the particles look like in a gas. Now for your assignment for this lesson, you're going to find 3 different liquids in your house. The 3 different liquids that I have are water, milk, and olive oil. So find 3 different liquids, and if you can't come up with 3 different liquids, you could use the 3 that I've chosen. And you're going to tell me how they are similar and how they're different. So talk about some different characteristics. You could talk about the color. You could talk about the thickness of the liquids. Like the thickness of this olive oil is very different than the thickness of this water. You could also talk about the taste of the liquids. So just tell me some properties that are similar and different in these 3 liquids. Next, you're going to be writing a journal. You're going to take a cube of ice and journal what state it's in. What state? Is it a solid, a liquid, or a gas? Set that cube of ice in a glass of water and just let it melt. Leave it out on the counter for a little while and see what happens. Describe what happens to this cube of ice. What do you think will happen when we leave it out? Write a journal about that. You're also going to write what would happen if we put a pot of water on the stove and we let it boil. Just like this pot of water here. What happens when we put water on the stove and we let it boil? What's this process called? So you're going to be answering these questions in a complete paragraph in a journal. Please use good grammar, capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. If you have any questions about this assignment, you can send me an email or Miss Gillespie an email. We'll be glad to answer those for you. I think that's it. If you'd like to see the assignment in writing, you can check out the Google document that was sent out to you. That's all for today. Thank you for coming to my kitchen for our science lesson today.